Welcome back. I'm super excited to read for you. We're going to be doing a little bit of romance and then some sexuality questions. So, we're going to start off with what is the romantic energy you give off to new people? We're going to be using the Oracle of Romance. This is deck 4A. All the decks that I'm using are linked in the description. What is the romantic energy you give off to new people? You are showing up as fun, but for some of you, it's showing as depression. What I'm showing that this is, you're kind of like starting out here and then you're almost fighting this, I feel. And you feel that, you're like hoping that people don't notice. I do feel that that energy is what's causing this kind of like disconnect. Like you'll come on really strong and maybe you'll, meet the person at an activity or out and about, and then you're having a really hard time with other areas in your life. And so this may cause you to not be as consistent with communication with them. This could cause you to not want to make plans. So I feel that for some of you, speaking with a counselor or a therapist is going to be beneficial to you. For some of you, you're wanting a lot more in a relationship, but you're not really sure how to get it, is what I'm feeling. And that clarity is going to come in for you when you talk to another person about this. But I feel that it needs to be a professional. Some of you have people in your life who are giving you either advice that they think you should do, but that they actually wouldn't really even do themselves. Some people that are you're talking to are giving you bad advice, um, either because they are feeling some kind of like envy or jealousy with about you. Um, so they're giving you bad advice, is what I'm feeling. So the romantic energy that you're kind of giving off to new people is like constantly shifting and changing. And I feel like talking to a counselor or therapist is going to allow you to get into the energy that you want to be in and stay in, whatever that energy looks like for you. So then the next one is what do they want romantically? I'm actually going to pull two cards. What do they want romantically? I don't feel like this person really communicates with you very much. Um, could be because you guys are like relatively new talking to each other, but for some of you, you're dealing with an introvert who does not want to communicate on social media a lot. What do they want romantically? First card pulling out, they want desire. It says desire is deep in divine love. Focus on your partner only. So they are looking for monogamy. And we have love. So this is a person who they aren't looking for like the energy of inconsistency, which sucks because I know that you're kind of in that inconsistent energy. This also may be why things haven't moved forward. Like you met and you thought that you really had a connection with this person. But because you can't stay in your lane is the phrase I'm hearing, because you can't maintain like the energetic connection with yourself. You have difficulty connecting and maintaining that with other people. But this person, what they want is desire and love. So if that's what you feel yourself wanting, um, I feel that talking to a counselor or therapist is going to help you be able to say, okay, but how do I get that? What's the healthy connection? Where are we going with this? So then let's find out, do they want to fuck you forever? Oh, before we move into the sexuality ones, we're going to do a positive sex affirmation. Actually, we're going to do two positive sex affirmations. How many of you have been using the sex affirmations? Oh, okay, first one. I determine what happens to my body. I seek sexual understanding and connection to myself. So I feel that that's going back to that energy of not really knowing what you want. And part of the thing with not knowing what we want is that it leads to dissatisfaction later on. So imagine you go to a restaurant and you walk in and you sit down, and the person who's serving says to you, okay, what can I get you? And you say food. For some of you, that's what you're doing with romance. What kind of food? Let's translate that over into what kind of love. Are you looking for a person who physically wants to spend a lot of time with you? Are you looking for a person who wants to live in their own home and, maybe we never get married and never live in the same home together? Or, like Gwyneth Paltrow wants. um, for some of you, I feel like this seeking of connection to yourself is what's going to allow you to connect with other people. But because you haven't had the opportunity or taken the time to see where your connection is with yourself, it's difficult for you to convey that to the person who would be bringing that to the table. So that's kind of like the parallel between the person who's getting you the food, the person who's bringing you the love. They know what they have to offer, they know the menu. But if you're just here saying, then you're like, they say, what are you looking for in a relationship? And you say, I don't know, somebody that I can love. Okay. It's a little bit difficult to find compatibility in when someone doesn't know what they like and what they don't like. Or, when it goes back to like the food, I know I don't like spicy food. I know I don't like raw onions. I know I don't like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to pick and choose the food that I want based on what my expectations or needs or wants are when it comes to food. So then that can flip over and be on the other side when it comes to sex and to romance. I know for me specifically, I have a very difficult time if the person doesn't communicate. Like if plans change or cancel and they don't make me aware of what's going on, I have a difficult time with that. I'm not compatible with a person who doesn't communicate because they just figure, well, you'll figure out I'm not coming when I don't show up. I don't resonate well with that. So that's kind of where it's been difficult for you to connect into relationships and get into relationships because you don't know what you want. And there is the opportunity. Sometimes you can go in a restaurant, you're driving down the highway, you see a restaurant, pull over on the side of the road. It's a little mom and pop place you've never been to, you know, that you're going to try something random. You might like it, you might end up with food poisoning. Who doesn't, you don't really know. So that's where using your ability to have boundaries and wants and needs listed out, knowing what they are going to redefine or define for you what you're actually looking for. And then you're going to find a lot more satisfaction. Okay, so then let's go into this yes or no. We're going to be using the Everything Tarot deck. This is 19A. Do they want to fuck you forever? Yes or no question, but that's also going to be a tarot card that we're going to pull. Do they want to fuck you forever? It is showing as yes. It says be guided by your own power. So here we have fear, weakness. I feel that this reverse strength energy is you not see even here forward thinking is the other like characteristic that you need to bring into this. So like this person does want forever with you or like they want forever. But for some of you, I don't feel if you even know that you want forever. So your lack of compatibility in relationships is stemming from the fact that you have not learned yourself. You don't know who you are and what you want and what you need. So you can't order it from the universe, the universal restaurant of love. You can't order because you don't know what you want or need or would enjoy or you don't find compatibility because you don't know yourself well enough. Okay, so it is a yes, though. Then let's go to keep this in mind when it comes in mind about your sex life. We're going to use the Oracles of Kink. This is something that I feel the reason you need to keep it in mind is because this is going to be something that when you see this card, you will know if you want it or if you don't want it. This is going to be how you determine your boundaries, wants, needs, and things like that. So I'm going to pop a card over and I want you to tell, I mean, you could say in the comments, I want it or I don't want it. Just say it like that. Positions. Don't be afraid to try new sex positions. Sex should be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. If you like a position, speak up. I feel like that's really what we're talking about, right? If you like something, speak up. But one of the problems that you're having is you haven't figured out what you like, right? So we can't really get what we don't ask for, what we don't express that we want or need. And I feel like that is the connection with this for you is it's time for you to figure out what you want or need when it comes to sexuality. So then we're going to go to the sex texts here. These are going to be a message that you could potentially hear from your person when it comes to sexuality. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Some of you are nervous because you're like, we're not in contact. It's okay. This is something that could be for the future as well. Don't forget this. Put on panties, pretty panties. Your person wants to see you wear panties. Yeah, even if you are a guy. So this person I feel is going to ask you for things. They're gonna portray to you the things that they want. And when you haven't explored yourself or like paid attention to what you like or want, it's gonna be hard for you to know if that is what you vibrate at. Think about this role play. It is time to dress up. What role do you want to play? Tell your partner. So this is a really big vibration. We have like um cards that are coming in where they match like each other's vibe. This is something that dress up or like role play is something that they like. Do you like that? That's your like first assignment. Is that something you would want? You might hear this. Blocked. Okay. And that's something that you are, when this comes in to a connection, reading like this, on the sex text, I have these, the white cards are the ones that are like for consent, basically. I feel that this person doesn't want to talk about any more things because they don't know where you stand on other choices. I feel that this whole reading and this energy for you very strongly is worry about yourself, figure out what you want. And I feel like when it's talking about you might hear this, if you are unable to convey what you want from this person and you have the experience of just like allowing things to happen and not having a sexual understanding of what you want or how to connect, this person is not going to be attracted to that. I feel that this person values consent so much that they don't like it when you are in the when people are in the energy of like, well, if you want to, that doesn't feel comfortable for this person. They want enthusiastic consent. So I don't feel that they're sharing any of that you might hear because let's see. Okay, so then let's see. We have another one. You might hear this. So let's see if we can shift some of your energy when it comes to sexuality. So let's see what you are worried about when it comes to like things that they might say when it comes to sex. This also might help you determine what a boundary would be for you sexually. Don't worry about this. It says, I want anal sex. Playtime. This person wants anal play in their sex life. So that's kind of where what I'm saying. I don't feel like you have really taken an inventory of what you like and what you want. And until you take an inventory of what you like and what you want and what could possibly show up, people might be wanting things that you're like, I would never want that. That's not something I want. That's how you determine boundaries and wants and needs and desires. This could be a boundary that is a like hard limit, like no, never off the table. This could be a boundary that's a soft limit, like I need to get to know you more. I need to determine that if anything goes wrong, you'll go to the hospital with me. And those stipulations on different acts are the boundaries. So the boundary can have a range from hell no, never to only after XYZ things have happened, only after this amount of time, only. So your range of boundaries is really something you need to pay attention to and what you are looking for. And you may have a lack of experience to know what you want to try and what you don't want to try. And even that, boundaries are fluid. You're not building walls, you're putting up gates, things that could open, things that only open for certain people. Some of them might be a wall. Some of you are like, no, that's a wall, which is good. You're learning yourself and learning about boundaries. So then they are playing about this. Let's see what they're playing about. French kiss me, tonsil hockey. Deep kissing is the only thing on this person's mind. I feel like the only reason that the deep kissing is on their mind is because they feel like that's really the only thing that they feel like you would be compatible with them with at this point. You might hear this. Let's see. Wow. Wow. That's interesting because that was the same, like blocked was for the you might hear this. Remember that was what we just had on that one? This person, I guarantee you, will not move forward without your enthusiastic consent. They will not move forward. For some of you, they're not going to even move forward unless you ask for things. They're not going to be somebody who introduces different scenarios because they want you to be so. You may even have a lack of experience to the point where they're just like, I want to be crystal clear about what we're doing. So let's get some identifiers. This initial wants to fuck. W. This sign wants to fuck. Ooh, we have a match. Look at this. We have Leo, Leo. So you have some strong Leo energy in this. This may be, it may not necessarily be their sun sign. So it could also be their Venus sign, uh, dealing with like the connections and romance. Let's do four. These are the Oracles of Characteristics and the Oracles of Characteristics live editions, deck 30 and 31A. Wearing contacts, the initials of B, V, or L, a Taurus, or a good listener. All right, so those are the identifiers of if you were kind of like trying to confirm, was this reading about that person? Those are the identifiers that this could resonate with, but also could just be something that you know is yours. Thank you so much for trusting me to read for you. Do not forget your affirmations. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and all the things you're supposed to do with social media so you can get more readings about your romantic and sexual connections.